Welcome to the Zag Talk Podcast Live. This is going to be a special edition, and I'm your host, Guy Danhoff. We want to thank you for joining us tonight, as we're going to have a few special guests. And in case of those of you who may not be familiar with me, I am MOSHAPE President-elect and also the host of our live podcast tonight called Zag Talk Podcast Live. And we need to get this show going, so we're going to bring on our MOSHAPE President, Anna Forsalito. And Anna, I know we are literally just 4 days away. Yes, let's count it. 4 days away. And how are you feeling right now?
Excited. I'm so excited. I'm excited to get down there. I'm excited to see everybody, to set everything up, to get all of these amazing surprises out of my condo, to give it to everybody. I cannot wait. It's going to be amazing. So yes.
Well, I know it is, because you have shared a lot of things like today, just for our viewers' benefit. Anna was actually picking up some signage, and she was doing a little FaceTime, and I got a chance to see it. And I will just say this, it's going to look amazing in just 4 days from today. But before all of that, we got a show to get to, and we've got a very special guest. And I was wondering if you want to introduce our special guest.
Absolutely. Well, we all know that we are getting close to the World Cup in Qatar. So without further ado, we have Lisa Perry from the U.S. Soccer Foundation joining us this evening as one of our wonderful platinum level sponsors that is going to be at MOSHAPE Sharing Your Story 2022 convention. Lisa, welcome to the podcast tonight. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you. I can't wait until I arrive in St. Louis and drive on down to the Lake of the Ozarks later this week and share what we have with us about soccer.
Well, you know, Missouri is a soccer state. I say St. Louis is a soccer town, or St. Louis is a soccer city, but Missouri is a soccer state. So we are excited to have you there.
Thank you.
So Lisa, before we get into our first question, give us a little bit of background about you, as I know that, you know, your title says that you are the Soccer for Success director, and kind of, you know, tell us what that means. It sounds really cool. And I know you do all amazing things, but kind of, you know, let our viewers know a little bit about your background.
Sure. So Soccer for Success is one of our keynote programs, and it started as an after-school program, an out-of-school time program. And so we are in several communities across the United States. And one of the important things about that program is that we really use the coaches as mentors to the youth, and soccer is the vehicle that we use to reach the kids. And it's been wildly successful over the past several years. We've been in existence for almost 20 years. And Soccer for Success has grown, and now we have moved into the school setting, which is what my role is. So I'm the director of the Soccer for Success school program, where we are able to provide resources to physical education teachers so that they can teach developmentally appropriate, standards-aligned soccer skills to their students. And it's a great turnkey resource that virtually anyone can use, and you need very little equipment. So my job is to spread the word across the United States to physical education teachers so that we can include it in our physical education programs and make it part of what we teach.
Lisa, I'm telling you, it's amazing. That's why we're so excited that you're going to be here at Lake of the Ozarks with us. And one thing we always like asking our guests, I'll leave this to Anna now, and this is always a good question.
Well, yes, Lisa, and you know, my why is closely related to soccer because I am born and raised soccer girl. So, you know, but coming to you as a frontline teacher and knowing what my why is and how strongly it has rooted me in this profession, you know, what is your why? What is the why of the U.S. Soccer Foundation?
You know, our why is we want to get kids active. We want them to be involved in wholesome activities that are easily accessible. And one of the ways to do that is to provide instruction to the kids around soccer so that they have the skills where they can be confident to go out into a social setting and play a pickup game of soccer and not feel like they can't participate because they don't have the skill set or they don't understand how to play the game. And one of the best ways to do that is to do it through physical education. You know, in our field, we know that's where we build the skills for kids to be physically active for a lifetime. And because soccer is such a popular sport and it's so accessible and relatively cheap for students to participate in, it just makes sense that we equip our physical education teachers with the skills and knowledge that they can teach these kids the skills that they need. And what we know is that PE teachers are not comfortable, and so that's why we developed this curriculum, so that they can develop that comfort. We have skill videos that they can view. We've got a great resource that they can just literally take these lessons right into their classroom and teach them next week.
I love it. I love it so much. Thank you for that.
Yeah, Lisa. So then with that kind of, this is a 20-year-old organization. Talk to us about the vision. I mean, to go back 20 years ago and now to be in the mainstream of what's going to happen really quickly with the World Cup. That's going to be an explosion here, right? With all the media coverage that's going to happen. And also what's going on right now in St. Louis with, MLS. Kind of talk to us about the vision behind the U.S. Soccer Foundation.
What we want to do, Guy, is to provide our underserved communities across the country access to play spaces and some evidence-based soccer programs that kids can really start to develop hope. And we want to foster well-being and help the youth achieve their fullest potential while they're learning to play soccer. And we believe that soccer is a very powerful vehicle to make those social changes. And by supporting the development of places to play and places to grow and places to learn, our goal really is to ensure that kids in these underserved communities have easy and affordable access to quality soccer programs that's going to support their physical and their social development. And, one of the things that I think is a misconception about soccer is it's only for the kids who can play travel soccer. And that's not true. You can play soccer in your backyard. You can play it in the side yard. You can play it at the end of the cul-de-sac. You can go to a hardtop area and play. You can go to a local park. All you need is a soccer ball and a couple of people to play with. And that's what makes it so accessible. And the United States is probably a little bit behind the rest of the world because they've been embracing soccer for a very long time. And we are finally to the point where we are embracing it as well. And our goal is to get 1 million kids playing soccer by 2026, which is when North America hosts the World Cup.
That's right.
Not only are we excited about Qatar, we are excited about 2026.
And not only is North America holding the 2026 World Cup, but Kansas City, Missouri, right here is holding the 2026 World Cup. And I can tell you that I'm already looking forward to it because I know that my friends that are soccer people are already looking forward to it and getting excited about it. So
definitely.
So Anna, this is always a great question because you being a teacher of 7th graders, this will be a really good insight.
Well, absolutely. The organizational background. What is that organizational background of the U.S. Soccer Foundation, and how has your organization grown within our HPE profession?
So, as I mentioned just a little bit earlier, we started with our Soccer for Success after-school program, and now we are taking the lessons that we learned from the after-school program and we're applying it to the in-school time. And last year we piloted in 10 districts across the country our soccer curriculum. Pre-pandemic was when the curriculum actually was being developed and written and tested and talked about. And we partnered with the U.S. Youth Soccer Organization, and they were wanting to do the same thing. They wanted to create a curriculum. And so we started talking together and we said, well, let's work together to create this curriculum so that we're not competing among organizations. And because of that partnership that we have with them, we were able to create this curriculum resource. And it's a resource that has 5 grade level bands. So it's kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th, 8th. So it spans kindergarten through 8th grade. And each one of those units has 10 lessons. And if you don't have enough time to teach all 10 lessons, it's okay. Don't stress. You can teach a few lessons this year, pick up a few lessons next year. We focus on, and Anna, this will resonate with you, we focus on dribbling, passing and receiving, and shooting and defense. And so we never put the kids in an 11-11 situation. It's always a small-sided game. And what we've tried to do also is create this play, practice, play model, which is very common in the soccer world for youth development. And we've adopted the same sort of structure where the first activity that the kids do, they're actually just kind of playing a game. They're exploring. It's not command style where the PE teacher stands in the front of the class and says, do this, do this. It's more like, get a ball, move it around the field, go through some gates, have some fun, and then teaching as they're doing that. And then the second section is actually the practice part. And in the practice part, that's the opportunity for kids to really drill down and learn some specific skills. So maybe today we're going to work on passing with the inside of our foot. And we have drills and activities that would focus just on that. And then the third section of the lesson would be the other play component, which is where they play a small-sided game, putting the skills together in a game-like situation, but not a high-stakes game. It's more fun. Most of the time we don't keep score. We just kind of have fun with it and let the kids explore what they're doing with the soccer ball and with their teammates. And so what we are trying to do now, what I am doing, is that I'm trying to spread the word to physical education teachers that this is a great resource. You might not be a soccer player, and maybe you are. Maybe you coach soccer. But the beauty about this curriculum is that anyone can take it and implement it into their program without much prep time. It's aligned to the national standards. There's a small component of health education in it that is also aligned to the national health education standards. And the lessons are just written simply. There are teaching cues, there are adaptations that you can use, but literally I could hand you the curriculum and you could teach it tomorrow. You would be able to figure it out, gather together the little bit of equipment that you need, which is basically soccer balls, cones, poly spots, and pennies, which is pretty darn simple, and teach it in your classes tomorrow. And so I think that's what the beauty of it is. And so because we believe that soccer is such a powerful game, we're trying to get the word out to physical education teachers that this is a resource that you can use. It's inexpensive. And even if you don't have a budget, you can talk to your principal, your PTA. You can talk to your district leadership and find out if there's ESSA money or ESSER money and tap into that, because the curriculum itself is only $200. And when you attend MOSHAPE, I'm going to give you 25% off. And so you'll be able to buy it at, even a reduced price. And along with that comes an online training. It's an asynchronous training, so you can do it anytime you want. And you go through the training. There are soccer skill videos. And when you complete that, you get a certificate of 2 hours of professional development. So if that helps you with your salary advancement or keeping your license in the state of Missouri, it's definitely accessible to you. And then we have another component of the program, which is a regional or district training, where you can get together a group of 40 teachers. And if you do that, we will bring in 2 national trainers. And my national trainers, I have a group that are very skilled in soccer and very skilled in education. So I bring 2 people in, they conduct the training. It's a 4-hour training, and teachers once again get credit for doing that training. And it really equips you with the skills and knowledge to go back into your class and teach. And as I said, you don't have to be a soccer player. You may not know the difference between a trap and receiving the ball, which I have learned. We don't trap the ball in soccer, we receive the ball. And when I was in physical education preparation, I learned about trapping, but I have now learned that we receive it. And so those are the kind of the small details that are important to know if you're going to be talking to kids about soccer today, because we want them to know. We want them to watch the World Cup and understand what's going on in the game. Right. So basically, I'm just out here to share the word about what a great game soccer is and how we can help kids in physical education.
Lisa, thank you so much. And I'm going to actually ask for a little reaction from our president. I've been very blessed in the last few years. I get to do filming at her school once in a while. So I get to see her in action. And Lisa, I'm going to tell you this, that when Anna first reached out to you and we heard that you were involved in or excited about maybe coming to MOSHAPE, Anna got really, really, really excited because she saw how this could apply to her classroom. So Anna, from your perspective as a 7th grade teacher, why does this program or curriculum excite you so much?
Well, it's a great question. So thanks for asking, Guy. And I think one of the things that's most important is that the ability to reach all kids of all abilities. So I think that's going to be one of the most important things, in health and PE and quality physical education. We are always striving to meet our kids where they are, but that means that we have the opportunity to meet all kids of all abilities, and from the kids from whatever their abilities are, from fully able to not fully able, to kids that do play club ball, to kids that have a little bit of interest. I mean, just going the spectrum, And so what I love about this program, that it really does tap into all of those things. And also, I know that Lucy didn't touch on it a whole lot, but I do know that there is a little bit about the position of goalkeeper that holds near and dear to my heart, because I am a goalkeeper born and raised from when I was 4 years old. So I have, they put me back in the goal, and I never left the goal box. I mean, like on occasion, I left the goal box. But other than that, I just found my niche from a very early on. So I know that there's stuff in there about goalkeepers, and I feel like that's the one position that people just kind of forget about, especially in the PE, because we're trying to have mini games going on all the different times and moving pieces about it. But it's a very special position and a very important position in soccer. So I do know that you guys have a little bit about that too. So I do love the program, because it runs the gamut from highlighting the game as a whole and developing the kids as a whole.
It does. And we do not neglect the goalkeeper. That's an important position.
Hey, I will bring my goalkeeper gloves next week. I mean, I'll bring them. I don't know where they are, but I'll go find them after this.
Yeah, you go find them. We'll shoot on goal. We'll let you have a little bit of opportunity.
I will dive this weekend. I'll do it. I'll get them out, and we'll find place, and I will put the goalkeeper gloves on, and we will go town. I'll do it.
Perfect.
And Lisa, our national teacher of the year, used to be a soccer player at Missouri Baptist University, and we'll get him to shoot on goal.
Oh, nice.
Hello, if you're watching this.
Exactly. We just gave Paul.
I'm gonna need to warm up, but let's go, right?
we might be able to do a little wagering on the side here.
Exactly.
Oh, dear Lord Jesus.
All right. So, Lisa, one of the things that really impressed me from the first time we met, and then doing some research afterwards, just to hear you talk, and certainly talk in, Anna's language for the physical educators. And obviously that's of primary importance. But what I found equally as important is also the other part of what you all do. And I want to ask you this question. And this is part of your advocacy, how is the U.S. Soccer Foundation using soccer for social change, transforming the lives of youth, and strengthening communities? Because I find this fascinating.
Well, Guy, one of the relationships that we value and think is most important is the coach-mentor relationship between the coaches and the youth. And so in our after-school program, we spend a lot of time preparing the coaches to work with youth, to make sure that they are a trusted adult that the youth can turn to. Mm-hmm. And when you start with that relationship, honestly, it doesn't really matter what other activity you pair with it, but we use soccer because soccer resonates with so many kids. But that relationship is where we start, where kids can trust an adult. And, and maybe they're in a situation where their parents are not very involved or not involved at all. But if they have this adult in their community that they see a few times a week, it's going to make a difference in their life. And we know from educational research that when students are connected with teachers as role models, they're going to do better in school. They're going to show up more often in school. Yeah. And we find that in the out of school time as well. And I think that's one of the things that's unique about the Soccer Foundation is, we think soccer is very important, the most important sport, the most popular sport, but we also understand the value of the coaching community. And what we try to do is work with folks who are in the community who have access to these kids, and that they have the opportunity to be provided proper training to be able to interact with the kids and help the kids develop socially and emotionally as they age, physically and developmentally as well. Yeah. But it's very important to us. And That was one of the things that really impressed me when I was exposed to the Soccer Foundation 6 or 7 years ago, well before I ever thought I was going to work with them. And I went to one of their trainings and I came away just saying, the coaching piece, this is good stuff.
Right.
And the soccer is kind of secondary.
Yep.
And I came away from the training just feeling good because I knew those people were going to go back in their communities. They were going to train more coaches, and those coaches were going to interact with youth in the local community, like over at the school over there, the playground that's,
Right.
3 blocks away, where they live and play.
Wow. Lisa, all I can say is I think it's one of the most extraordinary things of what I found most impressive, that it's not just about the game of soccer. The U.S. Soccer Foundation gets the big picture and really gets how we can make a difference in the lives, especially with those frontline teachers and coaches, as you talked about in that mentor-mentee relationship. So I would just want to say thank you for sharing that, because I know a lot of times, we hear about the soccer, the importance of soccer, but yet there's a whole nother mission going on here, and definitely shows the power of advocacy and the difference that you're making in communities. And I just want to say thank you for sharing that.
You're welcome. And, one of the other programs that we have just started, it's coach mentor training.
Yep.
And in that one, our model is going to expand to train coaches in other sports, but train them the way that we train coaches.
Yep.
So that we can expand the reach. So regardless of what sport the child decides to play, they're still going to have a similar experience of having a mentor that they can turn to, that they can develop a relationship with. So stay tuned. We are building that program. We're conducting trainings right now. And then, kind of a nice thing is that this is not just an in-school program. We know that if we give kids the soccer skills in school, it can expand to out of school.
Right.
And so, we have a few different programs where we work where kids are out of school time that are just as instrumental as the school time.
100%.
Yeah, absolutely. So Anna, you're up on this one.
Well, Lisa, I think it brings us to, we're so happy that you're going to be in MOSHAPE with us in 4 days. And I'm so excited, but talk to us. Why MOSHAPE sponsorship?
Well, I have been in the physical education field for a long time. Let me say more than 25 years. And so I've had an opportunity because I was at a national organization before I came to the Soccer Foundation 6 months ago. And I have worked in the state of Missouri with my previous job. I did not have the opportunity to attend MOSHAPE, but I always heard great things about it. And I would always stalk your website, and I would look for handouts that your presenters provided. And I've kept my eye on MOSHAPE for a while. And when I was choosing conferences to go to, MOSHAPE was the one that I wanted to go to first. And so I did the research. I reached out to you all.
You did.
Yeah.
Very, very quickly, I realized that you all have it going on. I mean, you are leaders. You are leaders, not just in physical education, but in technology, communication, marketing. And I would have to be a fool not to sponsor. And so I am super excited about the sponsorship. I plan to be a sponsor again next year if you will have us. And I just feel like there's lots of good things going on in Missouri.
Yeah.
And I'm currently in Maine at Maine AFERD, and I talked to a few people here, and I mentioned that I'm going to Missouri next. And the respect that other states have for MOSHAPE is impressive. And you don't get that casually.
Right.
People respect you because they know what you're doing and they believe that you're on the cutting edge. And so if you're on the cutting edge and I'm starting a new program, I better get on the bus with you all.
Well, thank you so much. And, I remember when you had reached out, it was like 7:00 at night when you sent an email out, and I was like wrapping up, responding to emails. And I was like, oh, U.S. Soccer Foundation. Absolutely. like the goalkeeper in me like kicked out. I was like, yes, I need to respond now. And so I responded immediately. And then we got something set up the next day. So I'm so happy and so grateful that you did. And I know that I speak for Guy when I say that. I know that we are super excited and just, grateful that we get to have you here and you get to share and be a part of this, and that we get to grow in the relationship with you and U.S. Soccer Foundation for what will be years to come. So we're very excited about it.
Well, thank you. And I appreciate the opportunity that you all, took a chance on a first-year program. And I believe that we're going to be well received in Missouri. And I'm excited not only about this year, but next year and following years. And what I'm really excited about is what kind of reach can we have in the state of Missouri?
Right.
And not only just getting kids active with soccer, but just getting kids active. I'm a firm believer, after all my years of teaching and working with schools across the country, is that if you expose kids to enough different physical activities, they're going to find one or two that'll resonate with them.
Yep.
And the cool thing about soccer is that it resonates with a lot of kids. I happened to visit an elementary school this week. I was with a friend. We went to pick up her grandkids at the elementary school, and they let out, and there were 2 soccer balls, 2. And these kids had just kind of made up their own game, playing around the playground, around the mobile units, the playground equipment, but they were kicking a soccer ball.
Yeah.
And how they kept it inside the fence, I don't know. But it was so cool to see the joy on those kids' faces with a simple ball, just a ball. They didn't need goals. They didn't need jerseys. They didn't need boots. They didn't need anything that we would associate with the sport of soccer. They just needed a ball. And that's the kind of joy for movement that I want to spread.
Right.
First of all, to the PE teachers, and then empower the PE teachers to go back into their schools and let that joy escape from the kids.
Yep.
Let it flow.
Yes.
Absolutely. So this leads us, actually, perfect segue to this question. And what is new or next for the U.S. Soccer Foundation?
Well, we plan on getting this curriculum across the country within the next couple of years. And our goal for 2026, it's a lofty goal, and you all can help. We want to reach 1 million kids with soccer by 2026, when we're hosting the World Cup here in North America. And I'm not going to do it alone. So I need to work with PE teachers across the country. We need to work with coaches and communities. We need to work with mini pitches. Anyone who is interested in soccer, we want to partner with folks so that we can get soccer out to as many kids as possible and reach that 1 million mark. And it may seem like an insurmountable goal, but we have plans, we have strategies, we've got the people on the ground. We're going to make it happen.
I don't think it's insurmountable. I definitely think that it is very possible, especially in Missouri. So,
yeah, how many can we get in Missouri, Anna?
I don't know. I mean, we could make this a challenge. I think, as my presidency is winding down and I'm getting ready to pass the gavel over to Guy here, I think this could be a strategy and a challenge that we could create. We can strategize about this to see how many schools we can get to get signed up to be engaged in it into the program.
Definitely. Yeah, we could have state challenges and see which state is the most soccer.
Oh, now you're speaking some people's languages right now that might be listening, or I know will be there next weekend. We do like a good competition here.
Perfect. Maybe we'll put that in the plans.
We do, absolutely. And at least in case you don't know, you are going to be invited on Saturday morning. We're having a breakfast for our sponsors so that we can talk about things like this.
Great.
This is actually part of what we want to do moving forward, going into the 23 year, and how we can align with some of the key campaigning that you're all doing.
Fantastic.
So we can support and on our end here in the state of Missouri, because what you're doing aligns so much with the HPE profession.
Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you that coming with me to the conference is my supervisor, and he is the senior director of Soccer for Success. So he's in charge of all of our Soccer for Success programs. And I would tell you, pick his brain, talk to him. He's been with the Soccer Foundation over 9 years, and he's run a lot of the national training. So Mike will be a great resource as well. Yeah. And I know he's excited to come with me or to meet me there. He's coming from Washington, D.C., and I'm coming from Maine.
Nice.
Wow.
So we will, we'll both be there. We'll be excited. We'll have some giveaways. We'll have a great session where we actually get to play some soccer. And we're looking forward to a good time. And yeah, if we can put Missouri more on the map with soccer, we are there with you.
Awesome.
We definitely want that. So this is Anna's favorite question to ask. As the convention coordinator, this is the question she loves asking all our sponsors.
Well, it's as convention director, right? And it's twofold, because it's twofold. One for you, and one, what can our MOSHAPE members expect from you to exceed for our sharing our story 2022 convention, and also what are you most looking forward to too? So it's a twofold question here.
Yeah.
Well, I think that for those who stop by our booth, they're going to learn more about the Soccer Foundation and what our goals are. And they're going to learn how easy it is to implement this resource into their existing classes. Whether you are a soccer expert or not, we can help both ends of the spectrum. And, I think the other thing is share our story, but let's build our story.
Right.
Let's build the story of how to get kids active using soccer, and then let's share it together. And that's one of the things that I'm most excited about. But, I'm a PE teacher at heart. I have been teaching since basically I was a child. I started coaching and teaching when I was in my early teens, probably as an adolescent. And so I am always excited to get back in the field with PE teachers. And let me tell you, the pandemic has taken a toll on me because I have not been able to draw my energy from the PE teachers. And I just love spending time with PE teachers and finding out what their challenges are, their successes are, and, what are things that we can do to help them? What can we do to make their lives easier? And, when I hear the stories from the field now, I am so incredibly empathetic. And I want to be encouraging. I want to help PE teachers do the job that they need to do, because honestly, I do not believe that there is a more important job in the school building than being the PE teacher, because of the relationships they build and because of the fact that we are teaching kids to take care of themselves and to be healthy and to be happy for a lifetime. And I'm excited. I'm excited to be with teachers and find out what their stories are.
Yep.
And if there's solutions that haven't been created yet in the world of soccer, then I want to find out what they need, and I want to help create those solutions for them.
I love it. It's a great answer.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great
And
answer.
why people are thinking right now, top of mind, where would you like people to go if they'd like to get more information on the U.S. Soccer Foundation? Where would you like to direct them?
You can go directly to www.ussoccerfoundation.org/school. And that takes you directly to our school website, where it explains what the program's about. You can purchase the program straight from there. You can find my email address and you can email me. And I'm more than happy to answer any questions, but all you got to do is go right there to the /school, and you'll be right at our site and learn everything you need to know about our school soccer program.
That's awesome, Lisa. As we're winding down, we'd like to give you kind of the final word. Then, actually, Anna always closes out our shows, but kind of the final word as you look forward to making your way to Missouri at Lake of the Ozarks.
Well, I think my final word would be I want to talk to you. I want to find out what your story is as a PE teacher. And I want to see what we can do to make your life easier and to help your kids be more active using the game of soccer. And I'm excited about coming down to the resort. I've been there a time or two before in my work in Missouri. And so I'm very excited of returning there. And I just want to feel the excitement. I want to feel the excitement of being at MOSHAPE. And I want to make sure it's what it's cracked up to be. I want to make sure the hype is really true. So there's your challenge, Anna.
Wow.
I'm like, tall, like big shoes to fill right now, but I'm up for the challenge. We are up. It's not about it. I'm going to say what it takes a village, and it definitely takes a team. And I am very blessed because I have an incredible team, from our planning committee to Guy being the president-elect and part of the planning committee, and my partner in crime here on all these things that we've done, and on our board and just executive committee, and just it's a MOSHAPE family, so right. we are ready for the task to fulfill that. And I can't wait to see you down here. And it's just, there's no better feeling, you know. I'll say one thing, and then I know that we need to move forward. But the past week and a half, I've zoomed into 3 of our colleges and universities, to our future professionals, to recruit them, to talk about the importance of MOSHAPE and getting involved in our state affiliate and at the national level, and what makes MOSHAPE so unique. And it all goes back to that family feeling. And it just, when you get there, it is something, I don't have words, you know. It's just this feeling, this thing that you get there, and it's just magical. People are around you that care of the same things, and they're there for the same reasons, and they want to learn and be around each other to grow and just be with each other. You know, I have friends I see one time a year, and some of them are in my own city, and that's okay. But we get to see each other and be around each other, and it's our weekend to just be and grow, to learn, to be present, and just to enjoy each other and to support each other. And it's like no other. It's fuel for the soul. And I just can't wait. I'm so excited. I don't know what else to say.
Well, I hope you all adopt me into their family.
Absolutely. You got it.
I can promise you that as incoming president, because I'll be president as of Sunday night, technically Saturday or Sunday morning, but Saturday night is when we have the where she'll pass the gavel to me. Although my role is real simple, just to adjourn the meeting. So I don't have any pressure there. But I will tell you this, Lisa, you're exactly right. We take mentoring very serious in our state. We are a very close community. It's one of the things of why I've been part of this organization for longer than any other professional organization I've been a part of, because of that dynamic. Mm-hmm. And that's also why we've restructured the way we do our sponsorships. We really want to add value, and that way we add value is how can we work together and solve problems together, right? And pool our resources, that kind of thing. So yeah, you're gonna see just a different approach of how we do things. And I'm not saying that we're better than any state. I'm not saying that whatsoever. All I'm just saying is we're different. We do things our way. There's a lot of great states out there, because Ann and I have been blessed to go to several other states, especially in the last couple of years. There's some states going on right now. I'll give a shout out to MinShape, InShape, Indiana Shape going on right now these 2 days. Where you're at in Maine, I was just recently in Maine not that long ago, as you found out. So yeah, I mean, Maine's got it going on as well. So there's a lot of really good conferences and conventions that are going on. I'm just saying, as far as what we do, you know, we're looking at it a little differently on how we can leverage the things that we do really well to really help bolster things that you're trying to do and continuing to do, especially if you want to hit that 2026 goal. So we hear you loud and clear. That's the one thing I do like about our state. When people ask, we are the show me state. We don't tell you, we will show you. We will show you. So with that, Madam President, we got 4 days. You get the final word, and certainly get a chance to thank our sponsors. So let me change the screen, and there you go.
Yes. So Lisa, thank you once again so much for doing this evening. It was an honor to have you here, and we're so excited to see you in T-minus 3 to 4 days. Whenever you get there, you know, I am leaving on Wednesday after school, so I'm like, get me there. Just let's go. But thank you so much. And thank you to all of our sponsors that have contributed to be a part of Sharing Our Story 2022 convention this year. We truly appreciate all of you. We cannot wait to see you down at the lake at the Lodge of Four Seasons for the convention. And we have 2 more Zach Talk Media podcasts. One will be tomorrow night, but for right now, tonight, we are so happy to end this with U.S. Soccer Foundation and Lisa Perry. Thank you again, Lisa. And till next time, we'll see you all later. Have a great night.